It's been around 55 days since I first laid my hands on the Samsung Galaxy A55, and honestly speaking, this device is amazing. In my opinion, the A55 is one of the best mid-range phones of the year. I have been using it daily ever since I got it, and in this video I am going to share my long-term experience. This is the Samsung Galaxy A55, 55 days later. The first thing that took me by surprise with the A55 was its build quality. Contrary to its predecessors, the A55 is made of glass and aluminum. This phone looks and feels amazing in the hand. Its back glass is glossy and it attracts fingerprints a lot, but its color choices are fantastic, and this one is my favorite. The aluminum frames are flat like on the S24, except where the keys are located. On the front, the A55 has slightly bigger bezels compared to some of its competitors, but they aren't as distracting if you aren't a tech enthusiast like me. I have been using it caseless, and so far my unit looks like new. Its display is still without a mark or a scratch, even though I never applied a screen protector. I am very happy with its build quality. The A55 is also IP67 dust and water resistant. Another great thing about the A55 is its display. The Samsung Galaxy A55 has a 6.6-inch Super AMOLED display with a full HD Plus resolution and 120 Hz refresh rate. The display of the A55 is the best of every phone from the A series so far. It gets very bright, and with the high refresh rate every task is smooth. Just like the S24 Ultra, the display of the A55 isn't as vibrant as previous phones, but I like this implementation a lot and I really enjoy watching content on this phone. I do also love the fact that the A55 is a wide device, and because it is flat, typing is so much easier. Overall, I would say that for a regular user the display of the A55 will look fantastic, and I believe it will be one of its biggest selling points. The A55 comes with Android 14 out of the box with One UI 6.1 on top of it, and the software experience is actually great. Scrolling through the UI feels smooth, and so far I haven't experienced any sort of lag. The A55 will get software updates for 4 years, which puts this phone way ahead of the competition. The AI features of the S24, however, aren't available here. The A55 is powered by the Exynos 1480, and even though it does a good job with apps and games, it takes a couple of seconds more to load them compared to the S24 Ultra, for example. To put it into perspective, the performance of the A55 is on par with the S21 Ultra. Considering the price of the A55 and the fact that it will get a lot of updates, I think this isn't really an issue, since the S21 Ultra is still a top performer. The Samsung Galaxy A55 comes with 8 or 12 GB of RAM and with 2 storage options that are 128 or 256 GB. As you can see, I have here the base model, and honestly this is more than enough for me, especially since the microSD card slot makes a comeback after being removed on the A54. The Samsung Galaxy A55 has stereo speakers, which are decent. They can get pretty loud and clear, but for me, who's used to fancier phones with better speakers, these don't sound as great. On the other hand, if you're upgrading from an older A-series phone, you'll probably find these speakers to be a nice improvement. For security, the Samsung Galaxy A55 primarily uses an optical in-display fingerprint scanner. While reliable, it's not the quickest. It gets the job done consistently but takes a bit longer to complete the task. There's also a face scanner option, which works well, but just like the fingerprint scanner, it isn't as fast. The Samsung Galaxy A55 has a 5000 mAh battery capacity, and battery life has been exceptional. I've found that this phone can effortlessly carry you through a full day on a single charge, even if you're a heavy user. And if you're not constantly glued to your phone, it's very likely that the A55 will keep going for 2 days or even longer. Surprisingly, its battery life even outshines that of the S24 Ultra. Charging the A55 isn't as speedy because it supports only 25 watts. It typically takes over an hour to reach a full charge. Unfortunately, this device doesn't support wireless charging or wireless power share, as Samsung reserves these features for its flagship phones. Finally, let's discuss about the cameras. The A55 has triple cameras on the back, but for me only two have been useful. The main 50-megapixel lens takes great pictures in daylight and low light. It isn't the best when it comes to the dynamic range, but pictures are always very sharp and with vibrant colors. This camera can crop in at 2x without a drop in quality, but beyond that the results aren't that good. The 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera is also good, but it fails short compared to its main lens. In daylight pictures are good, but its colors aren't as accurate, while in low light it struggles a bit with light reflections. Still, I would call this camera one of the best when it comes to mid-range phones. The third camera is a 5-megapixel macro lens, and if you like taking macro pictures it does the job well, but otherwise a proper telephoto lens would have been more useful. The selfie camera is 32 megapixels, and although pictures are very sharp and detailed, skin colors aren't always as accurate. I do still believe that Samsung will push an update and make this camera a bit better when it comes to skin colors. The A55 can record videos up to 4K at 30 fps, and the results are good with the main camera since it has OIS. The ultra-wide camera isn't as stable at this resolution, while at 1080p it performs better, but footage isn't as sharp. The front camera does also record at 4K, and just like with pictures, faces are sharp but skin colors aren't accurate. The A55, however, is one of the only mid-range phones that can record 4K videos with its front camera. Overall, I would say that the cameras of the A55 are great and reliable for its price, and in my opinion, if you come from an old mid-range device you will be happy. So what are my final thoughts about the A55 after using it for 55 days, and do I recommend getting it? Well, like I said earlier, the A55 is one of the best mid-range phones in the world. It has a premium build quality, a great display, reliable cameras, and an awesome battery life. It is also powerful enough to do most tasks. If you are planning to buy a mid-range phone with a flagship software experience, then the A55 should definitely be on your list. So guys, what do you think? Let me know in the comments section below if you have the A55 or if you are planning to buy it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.